Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Rama। माता जी भजन गाना चाहता हूँ प्रभुपाद जी का, चलेगा? बड़ कृपा कोइले कृष्ण अधो मेरा प्रति, बड़ कृपा कोइले कृष्ण अधो मेरा प्रति, बड़ कृपा कोइले कृष्ण अधो मेरा प्रति, जे लागिया नील करो बेगति, कि लागिया नील हेता करो बेगति, बड़ कृपा कोइले कृष्ण अधो मेरा प्रति, बड़ कृपा कोइले कृष्ण अधो मेरा प्रति, कि लागिया नील हेथा करो बेगति, আছে কিছু কার্য তব এই অনুমানে, নাহে কেন আনিবে না এই উগ্রস্থানে, আছে কিছু কার্য তব এই অনুমানে, নাহে কেন আনিবে না এই উগ্রস্থানে, রজস্তম গুণেরা সবাই আচ্ছন্ন, রজস্তম গুণেরা সবাই আচ্ছন্ন, বাসুদেব কথা রুচি নাহি সে প্রসন্ন, রজস্তম গুণেরা সবাই আচ্ছন্ন, বাসুদেব কথা রুচি নাহি সে প্রসন্ন, তবে যদি তব কৃপা হয়ে অহেতুকি, সকলে সম্ভব হয়ে তুমি সে কৌতুকি, তবে যদি তব কৃপা হয়ে অহেতুকি, সকলে সম্ভব হয়ে তুমি সে কৌতুকি, কিভাবে বুঝাল তার বুঝে সেই রস, কিভাবে বুঝালে তারা বুঝে সেই রস, এত কৃপা কর প্রভু কর নিজ বশ, কিভাবে বুঝালে তারা বুঝে সেই রস, এত কৃপা কর প্রভু কর নিজ
তোমার ইচ্ছায় সব হয়ে মায়াবশ, তোমার ইচ্ছায় নাশ মায়ার পরশ, তোমার ইচ্ছায় সব হয়ে মায়াবশ, তোমার ইচ্ছায় নাশ মায়ার পরশ, তব ইচ্ছা হয় যদি তাদের উদ্ধার, তব ইচ্ছা হয় যদি তাদের উদ্ধার, বুঝিবে নিশ্চয় তবে কথা সে তোমার, তব ইচ্ছা হয় যদি তাদের উদ্ধার, বুঝিবে নিশ্চয় তব কথা সে তোমার। ভাগবতের কথা সে তব অবতার, ধীর হইয়া শোনি যদি কানে বারবার, ভাগবতের কথা সে তব অবতার, ধীর হইয়া শোনি যদি কান বারবার, ধীর হইয়া শোনি যদি কান বারবার, রজস্তম হতে তবে পাইবে নিস্তার, হৃদয়ের ভদ্র সব ঘুচিবে তাহার, কি করি বুঝাব কথা বরসে চাহি, ক্ষুদ্র আমি দীনহীন কোন শক্তি নাই, ক্ষুদ্র আমি দীনহীন কোন শক্তি নাই, এথচ নেচ প্রভু কথা বলিবারে, যে তোমার ইচ্ছা প্রভু কর এইবারে, অখিল জগত গুরু চচন সে আমার, অলঙ্কৃত করিবার ক্ষমতা তোমার, অখিল জগত গুরু বচন সে আমার, অলঙ্কৃত করিবার ক্ষমতা তোমার, তব কৃপা হলে মোর কথা শুদ্ধ হবে, শুনিয়া সবার শোক দুঃখ যে ঘুচিবে।
Mataji, you have the... Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna. Welcome everyone. Very unusual festival. Thank you for joining us online and thank you for joining us in person for the Appearance Day celebration of Srila Prabhupada, our dear spiritual master. And we're going to begin with the offering of Srila Romapada Swami Maharaj, his dear disciple.
Om Jnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nityanamine Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shanyavadi Paschachade Satarine Mukkam Karoti Vachalam Pangam Loghayate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Bande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam. My dear and most respected spiritual master and eternal Father, please accept my most humble and respectful obeisances in the dust of your most merciful lotus feet. All glories to you, Srila Prabhupada. In this age of abundant darkness, can anyone estimate how expansive and how vital is the role that your divine grace continues to play and manifest in the lives of sincere seekers of truth? Is there a limit? Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj provided all his followers with the Sri Vishva Vaishnava Raja Sabha, conventionally known as the Gaudiya Mission. You, as a recipient of immeasurable Krishna Shakti, during your lifetime manifested around the globe that very blueprint received from your Guru Maharaj, namely an actual worldwide spiritual organizational structure giving shape and life to the Bhagavata vision expressed by Narada Muni to Vyas, the vision of a revolution in the impious lives of those captured by the distractions of this age of Kali. After Vyasadeva received Narada's order to refine the Bhagavata vision, with which he had previously composed in a synopsis form, Vyasadeva compiled the current form of Srimad Bhagavatam according to that order. Krishna himself in the mood of his own devotee, appearing as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, along with his followers, continued carrying forward that precise vision. Yet it was you who factually manifested this vision within the entire world in an unprecedented fashion, and within such a short period of time, never before seen in the history of religion. I would like to cite three profound examples of this profound mercy, which continues to impact the world today. Your Bhaktivedanta purports, the Vrindavan temple, and currently in your having given such prominence to the development of the temple of Vedic Planetarium. You wrote to a disciple on 18th November 1972, "These books and magazines are our most important propaganda weapon to defeat the ignorance of Maya's army. And the more we produce such literature and sell them profusely all over the world, the more we shall deliver the world from the suicide course." In Vrindavan, streams of pilgrims come to the Holy Dham from all over the world. Daily, these international spiritual seekers pour through Krishna Balaram temple, receiving the holy name and the mercy of the deities you personally installed at great sacrifice. Recent developments in Mayapur regarding the near completion of some portions of the TOVP are yet another display of your current influence in spiritualizing the entire world. Ambarish Prabhu shared with me that he had no expectation that this project would have moved so swiftly to its present stage of development. This is all due to your empowerment. You are imparting Shakti to many of your sincere followers to carry out your mission. Recalling all of these achievements, I find myself asking another question, in addition to the one raised at the beginning of this offering. How many souls are actually searching for the truth? Out of those who may be capable of attaining siddhi or perfection, the Bhagavad Gita teaches us that few truly are even interested or capable of approaching the personality of Godhead. Srimad Bhagavatam explains that this age of Kali is so bad that the rare sincere seeker is commonly misled. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur wrote an entire book explicitly dedicated to guiding those who are searching for the truth. Faithfully, following in his footsteps, you most liberally gave the entire world the same wisdom and more. The opportunity to receive the fullness of Krishna's mercy through his most rare devotional service, leading to Braja Prema and all that is included. With profound awe, I express my deepest gratitude for having been one such soul whose fortune of life was to come in contact with you and receive the seed of Braja Bhakti. That you successfully gave this most valuable gift to the entire world proves that you are empowered with Krishna's Shakti, which you combined with your indomitable determination. Was there opposition? Were there obstacles, setbacks, challenges, forces of Kali of so many varieties presented themselves before you, which you had to contend with, despite your being Krishna's empowered and protected instrument, dedicated exclusively to manifest the unadulterated form of the Bhagavata vision within this world? Did that deter your determination? not in the slightest. Most of us who are striving to assist you in furthering Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission are far less than perfect. We make mistakes. Our determination does not come close to matching yours. Yet, despite all our shortcomings, unflinchingly our faith rests in you and the most munificent Lord Chaitanya, whom you are serving. Kindly accept me, despite my error-filled attempts to assist and serve you favorably. Pleasing you is my life and soul, the real meaning and value of my life. I am at your feet, begging for your continued mercy. Please keep me forever and ever engaged in your service. Your humble servant, Romapada Swami. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you, Maharaj. Next, we invite Jitendra Prabhu, who has been serving Srila Prabhupada at Sri Sri Kishore Kishore Dham for 45 years, to please offer his appreciation.
Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vasaya Bodhale Srimate Bhaktivedante Iti Namane Namaste Sarasvati Devam Govardhani Parshani Nirvase Shunyavadi Pashtatadas and Tarne. Thank you, Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada visited, closer? Oh. Srila Prabhupada visited the Chicago temple twice, once in 1974 for 1 day, and then the following year he was here for 10 days in 1975. There was an article in the Chicago Sun-Times by Roger Ebert, and then there was also an article by Mike Ryko. Although Mike Ryko's article was critical, Srila Prabhupada liked it more because he mentioned the name Krishna more. But I don't have that particular one, but I have the one from Roger Ebert, and I'll recite it here. Like I said, this was July 8, 1974, the Chicago Sun-Times. Swami in U.S., Leading Krishna's Parade by Roger Ebert, who passed away 2013 at 70 years old. I had come for an audience with A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, said by his followers to be the most exalted man alive on earth. And that is why I found myself in front of the 1014 Emerson in Evanston late Friday afternoon, taking off my shoes. In a slanting golden sunlight, a Hare Krishna devotee was rocking back and forth on his feet, facing the brick wall of his temple and reciting his daily verses in a monotone. The master had arrived at O'Hare Airport early that morning on a flight from Honolulu in time for the parade to preside over the Rath Yatra festival and parade on Saturday. In a hallowed tradition, numerous Irishmen, Puerto Ricans, and Italians before him, Chicago's devotees of Krishna consciousness would march down State Street with a float before holding a free feast at the Civic Center Plaza, which is now called the Daily Center, the Daily Plaza. We had our Rath Yatra there 2016. Swami Prabhupada would ride on the float, then deliver the message in the plaza. There would be free food and drink through the city's sect milk-based drinks that had been turned down by the city health department, and they had to fall back on bottled water as a substitute. And this would be the first Chicago celebration of Rath Yatra, a great annual festival in India. The temple floors were decorated in spotless white and blue linoleum blocks, and on the ground level, rooms of the building led to a balcony overlooking a large two-story worship room that looked like it might have been a basketball court during some previous incarnation. In the room, Krishna's devotees chanted and made their music and held their hands briefly over bowls of fire before pressing them to their foreheads, a reminder of divine warmth. Incense filled the building. Swami Prabhupada was in special quarters prepared for his visit. There was an enormous divan throne decorated in bright colors and Eastern fabrics and surrounded by vases of flowers and dozens of devotees. But he sat instead on a pillar on the floor at the side of the throne. A small old man who will be 79 in September, and who was charged 40 years ago by his spiritual master to spread the knowledge and preach Krishna consciousness in English. He first came to America in 1965 and now has around 6,000 disciples in this country. The most visible of them occupy street corners and airports, chanting Hare Krishna and trying to make converts. The master gestured for me to come forward. I did, sitting at his feet. Master, I asked him, what would your advice be to the readers of the newspaper who have accepted Krishna consciousness? The sun is exposed to everyone, he explained, but if one keeps in a dark room, what is the sun to do? There is a class of men who keep themselves in a dark room. It is not possible to convert everyone. If some living people accept Krishna consciousness, others will follow. Why did you come to America to preach your doctrine? I thought everyone is following Americans, is building the American skyscrapers. If Americans follow, then others will follow. In India, they reject Krishna consciousness. They reject. The Americans accept. India is too close, is too much leaderless now, and they are encouraging skyscrapers, drinking wine, but in Western countries, people like the hippies have become dissatisfied with the materialistic life. They gave up their possessions. In the Western countries, we are selling our books very nicely. The Swami was charged to teach to the English-speaking world in 1934, but he came to America 31 years later. Why did you wait so long? I was thinking I was not fit. Also, I was a family man at the time. In 1959, I renounced family life. Why? To relieve of all anxiety. Laughter, the master joining in. The elder son takes care of the mother, he explained. When a woman is a child, she is taken care of by her father. When young, by her husband. When old, by her children. She is never allowed independence. When a woman goes to work, that is an insult to the husband, the father, and the son. In a degraded society, these distinctions are broken down and no one knows how to serve God properly. But you spoke a moment ago about all your devotees being equal. They are spiritually equal. They have the same duties as men, to chant, to dance, to take prasadam, which is food, but their bodies are different. It is for the man to tend the fields and the woman to tend the house. From the back of the room, Krishna devotee cleared his throat and said, "Master, I would like to introduce you to my father-in-law, Mr. Manischewitz of New Jersey. He is a president and chief executive officer of the largest kosher food manufacturing concern in the world. You must be proud," said the master, "of such a fine son-in-law." "Thank you," said Mr. Manischewitz, who dressed in sport clothes and looked as if he did not make a practice to wear a tie around his neck, although he wore one now. There was a short silence. Did you or your followers ever become discouraged, I asked, by the small response to your efforts? Wherever we chant, there is the name of God is heard, the Swami said. Even in the interior of Africa, where they wore spears and earrings, they were also pleased. Even if you don't follow, to hear the name of God will benefit them. The advertisement will have some effect, even if not everyone will buy the advertised thing. I thank Swami Prabhupada for speaking with me and got up to leave. The Swami offered me an orange section of from a large silver tray. "No thanks," I said. "Oh, please take one," a devotee said, and I did. The next afternoon in the Civic Center Plaza, I was joined by a crowd of maybe 2,000 who stood around the 40-foot-high float bearing Srila Prabhupada. He spoke into the microphone, but it was hard to hear. Occasionally, he led his devotees in chants, and they were easy to hear. Good advertisements, he said, he would have said. Their heads shaved, dressed in their flowing robes, the devotees of Krishna consciousness heaved big 5-gallon bottles of mineral water on the top of dozens of coolers, and shoppers in the loop stopped to have a drink from a paper cup and wondered what this little old man was saying. One thing that I remember that they prepared they asked for Srila Prabhupada, but he sat on the floor. And they asked him why. They prepared a nice seat for you, Srila Prabhupada. Why are you sitting on the floor? And he says, "Because you are envious." So I thought that was a quick Srila Prabhupada response to that kind of question. Anyways, thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. I invite Gokulananda Prabhu to please read Radhanath Maharaj's offering. Thank you.
Dear Srila Prabhupada, please accept my life as your humble servant. In your compassion to all the world, you have opened the doors to the unborn and undying nature of the soul. You reveal that the living force within us is forever a loving servant of the Supreme, all-beautiful, all-merciful, and all-loving personality of Godhead. Just prior to Kali Yuga, Krishna descended to attract our hearts into the pastimes of Vrindavana. Out of infinite kindness, he came again as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to taste and distribute ecstatic spiritual love through the Sankirtan movement. In doing so, he showed us the simplest way to reach the most intimate level of liberation. But the darkness of Kali hid this blessing from the world. Then, Srila Prabhupada, you came to let the light of Mahaprabhu's mercy shine throughout the world and dispel the darkness of material suffering. While people were obsessed with finding solutions to their endless problems, you spoke the simple nature of the material world, where suffering and death. I will read that part again. While people were obsessed with finding solutions to their endless problems, you spoke the simple truth, that the real problems are birth, old age, disease, and death. Repeatedly, you warned us of the nature of the material world, where suffering and death are inevitable. With the coming of the coronavirus, the world is now on its knees in fear, confusion, and despair. This is but a glimpse of what will come in Kali Yuga. But, Srila Prabhupada, you enlightened us with an eternal shelter in God's grace. You enlightened us with an eternal truth, where Krishna's love and endless joy are forever awaiting. Every situation is an opportunity to seek shelter in God's grace and share this mercy among devotees. In this spirit, as a devotional community, we have the chance to share the treasure of bhakti with the world. As the embodiment of Krishna's divine grace, you pleaded with us to rise above petty differences and distractions and unite to receive and distribute Lord Chaitanya's mercy. In your compassion for all beings, you taught us the purest meaning of love. You entrusted us with the holy names, a medicine that can immunize all of us from the pandemic of ignorance and all its subsequent sufferings. You opened the gate to the spiritual world, which is seated in our hearts, where Sri Sri Radha Gopinath will smile upon us and welcome us home. I pray, Srila Prabhupada, that you will please help me overcome my seemingly endless, pathetic weakness, so that my every heartbeat may be an offering of love and gratitude to you, an aspirant servant of your servants, Radhanath Swami.
Thank you, Prabhu. Next, I invite Hemani Mataji, our temple president, to please read her offering.
नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्ण प्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी निति नामिने Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyata Deshatarine. My dear Srila Prabhupada, please accept my prostrated obeisances at your divine lotus feet. All glories to your divine grace. Every year I look forward to this day, where throughout the world your disciples and grand disciples get together to share their hearts and gratitude for what they have received and continue to receive from you. Only an empowered Acharya such as you can continue to not only inspire us, but to keep us together. Such is the power of your love and preaching. You inspire and reciprocate with each devotee in a unique, individual way, a quality that Krishna possesses too. I have never ceased to be amazed by how you have made the bhakti process so accessible to the dull, unintelligent, spiritually lazy, lost and confused entities of Kali Yuga. Even after coming across the bhakti process, and after several years of association of saintly devotees and unlimited opportunities to serve, still the living entity struggles. But just by holding on to the hope you have given us in the holy name is sufficient to carry us through these waves of unsteadiness. Such is your compassion. What can I say? I'm pleased to report that this pandemic has given us more creative ways to share your mercy with others. The book distributors are doing books online through care packages, selling Bhagavad Gita on Amazon, and TSKP is actively distributing books. Vaisheshika Prabhu shared that this has been the best year in book distribution throughout our history of 50 years. New avenues opened up for Krishna lunch through DoorDash and Uber Eats. Some of them have become regulars and have received books and are showing interest in Krishna consciousness. Due to this unique situation, Gokulananda Das and Latin American preachers are collaborating and doing a very dynamic, inspiring online preaching. They are working on creating online curriculums for Spanish devotee training and education. All the Bhakti Vrikshas are being conducted online, and I'm getting reports that the members are not only taking to chanting, but some of them have come to the standard of chanting 16 rounds. Ready to take disciples course, and some of them are also keen to do Bhakti Shastri. At the sanctuary, they have started Thoughtful Thursdays. There are close to 45 participants, and of which 90% of them are Americans, and the rest are from all over the world. Through these weekly gatherings, 3 book clubs have started, and some of them are really interested in pursuing spiritual life. We also started our monthly online presentation for newer audiences called Truth Matters. Devotees like Devamrita Swami, Brahmatirtha Prabhu have been the guest speakers, and it has been well received. A lot of exciting things are happening with children's education. The Sunday School Committee has been working for 4 months to put together a wonderful curriculum, and soon we'll be starting our online Sunday school. Recently, Vrajabhumi Mataji and her team did our first online summer camp for a month, and it was very well received. For some families, the camp was their introduction to Krishna consciousness, and they loved it. We have also launched the Krishna Conscious Homeschool Co-op, and throughout the summer, we had some amazing speakers do webinars for Vaishnava Academy. For adult education, the Bhakti Shastri and Bhakti Vaibhava classes are continuing and helping devotees go deeper in their Krishna consciousness. During the COVID, a small dedicated team of devotees are taking care of deities, especially in the first 3 months. There are very few pujaris, and not only have they have never complained about this huge responsibility. They all have been happily and devotionally taking care of their lordships. Sri Guru Charana Padmadasi and Rajamohan Prabhu continue to inspire the Russians in the Chicagoland area, and one of them helped us get some grants for the government of from the government for the temple. The youth was active with their local Sangha initiatives the entire summer. Some of the youth have gotten involved in the temple management. They have become part of various committees and actively contributing to the vision of the temple. The congregation development team has come together to create a curriculum for the Bhakti Vrikshas and strategizing how to expand. Last but not the least, we have started organizing and decluttering the temple. It's a hard and time-consuming service, but a small team of dedicated devotees are working hard to get the temple ready for its guests when it reopens. This pandemic has brought us closer than ever and inspired us to become more serious about our Krishna consciousness. I have a lot of hope and confidence in the potential of this community. I feel your mercy upon us and for giving us the courage, hope, and confidence to move forward with enthusiasm. Praying at your lotus feet to continue showering your mercy upon us. Thank you, my dear Srila Prabhupada, for making Krishna consciousness so accessible, practical, and joyful. In this age of quarrel, you have brought us all together to serve for a common goal. The journey has certainly been painful, yet little by little liberating. Always aspiring to be under the cooling shelter of your lotus feet, Himangi Devi Dasi.
Thank you for that inspiring report. Subal Prabhu will offer now.
Namo Vishnupadaya Krishnapastaya Bhutale Srimate Romapada Swami Namine. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishnapastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin iti namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine. Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatyade Shatarine. Dear Srila Prabhupada, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to you, divine grace. All glories to Shishikishore Kishori. I was asked by Shiradika Mataji this morning if I would like to offer homage to Srila Prabhupada. And I hesitated because I have nothing prepared, and eloquence is not one of my strengths. So, but I say I will think about it. And I thought about it, and I understood here's an opportunity to offer words of gratitude and also honor to His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. And I thought how important for my personal development in Krishna consciousness to pay very strong attention to this activity of offering these words of gratitude and honor, and not only also individually but also collectively, honoring not only Srila Prabhupada's mission, Srila Prabhupada's institution, Srila Prabhupada's teachings, books, Srila Prabhupada's murti, Srila Prabhupada's devotees. So how important it is to have that sense of gratitude and honor and offering this homage to what we have received from Srila Prabhupada. And I like to share one instance in which Srila Prabhupada, in his murti form, gave us a very strong lesson why we have to pay so much detailed attention and so much conscious attention to this respect, honor, and gratitude. It was back in 1987, some 1988. I was not initiated, still I was a Bhakta, and enthusiastically engaged in Harinam and festivals in the streets of Manhattan. And His Holiness, my Guru Maharaj Romapada Swami, has mentioned to us how this festival that he organized in New York back in the 70s, that gave Srila Prabhupada great pleasure. During that time, so much prasadam and books were distributed, and Harinam, and crowds of New Yorkers enjoy that festival with the devotees. And Prabhupada, when he was giving the report, he said to the devotees that New York will be conquered by prasadam distribution. So Srila Prabhupada Swami, he shared that with us, and we decided, we have this enthusiasm and thought, well, we can organize a big festival in Central Park, just like, following that example. And we want this festival to be very, very big. So we had the idea to bring Shishi Radha Krishna, the small Utsavaditis of the temple, with us, and Srila Prabhupada's Murti with us. So the temple responded very enthusiastically. We organized the festival, and the festival was a wonderful success from the perspective of prasadam distribution and book distribution and Harinam. But in the process, we make this big offense to Srila Prabhupada. And the result of that offense was that the temple was without Srila Prabhupada's Murti presence almost for a year. And the circumstances were that we asked, so we were taking all the paraphernalia in the truck for the festival, and when we were ready to go, we were asked to take Srila Prabhupada in the truck with us. So without thinking, the situation, which was already very inappropriate to take Srila Prabhupada in the truck, but we put Srila Prabhupada, instead of offering him the front seat, we placed him in the back of the truck with all the paraphernalia. And we came to the festival, we did wonderfully this festival, and then when we packed everything back in the truck, coming back to the temple, Prabhupada went back again into the back of the truck. And never happened ever in the truck. One of the doors fell down in Srila Prabhupada's head and broke the deity. And I was very devastated because I was organizing this festival. I took it personally that I was the responsible for this, so I was very distressed. And that night I have this dream. I finish with this. I have this dream that I was coming down the stairs from the temple, and in the lobby, my Guru Maharaj was standing, and then, and then you called me up, and then pointed to me to follow you into this little space that is in the front of the temple that we were using at that time as a storage. So I followed through the door, Srila Romapada Swami, and when I got into that space, there was a Vyasa-san with Srila Prabhupada sitting down. And I, in great joy, just screamed, Srila Prabhupada is back. But then, when I look at the murti of Srila Prabhupada, he was sitting down like in those pictures that Prabhupada is relaxing in the Vyasa-san with his arms over the pillows and his leg drawn towards his body, one of the legs. And then I realized that it was not Prabhupada's murti, it was actually Srila Prabhupada. And I was very shocked. And then Prabhupada had this huge smile. My Guru Maharaj has a huge smile. And then I hit the floor and wake up. So it was gone, the dream. And so I realized that Prabhupada's kindness, that although we were given the lesson that we cannot neglect any aspects of Srila Prabhupada's, of honoring Srila Prabhupada, and the result was that he was not present for us in his murti form almost for a year, but at the same time he was very kind to extend his encouragement to the effort, the sincere effort that we had to actually further his mission. So I'd like to take advantage to this opportunity to express my gratitude. Thank you for asking me. I would like to make this prayer to Srila Prabhupada that I grow from this mechanical way of approaching my relationship with Srila Prabhupada and remember that the importance to have this grateful connection with His divine grace in all aspects and overcome whatever impersonalism is in there that have to be purified in my devotional service. Thank you so much. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Thank you, Prabhu. Next, I invite Karunanidhi Prabhu to read his offering.
नमो विष्णु पदाय कृष्ण प्रस्ताय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी नीति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तरणे जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. Before I speak, I don't have authority to speak or to glorify Srila Prabhupada, but before that I need blessing of present acharyas and Srila Romapada Swami Maharaj and my Sikha Gurus, Nityananda Pran and Gajendra Mukhya Prabhu. So I'll just repeat. I don't have qualification. I'll repeat whatever it has been written by one of our ISKCON's famous Kusha Kratha Das Prabhu, and it was versification by Dravida Prabhu. So I'll just say it is about significance of Srila Prabhupada. It's called Srila Prabhupada Ashtakam. Sri Sri Navadipa Para Pradipa Sandipya Mana Satato Viviga Chita Satam Hanti Asyantant Tam Kirtayama Prabhupada Devam. The transcendental lamp of Navadip, Gauranga Deva, he took with great endeavor around the world the souls to save who long had dwelt in darkness, never chanting Krishna's name. The vast renown of Srila Prabhupada I now proclaim. Sri Bhakti Siddhanta Prachodi Sri Vyasadeva Kosam Kusalam Kupalu Samlecha Bhaga Dasachaya Dadayas Tam Kartayama Prabhupada Devam. This sacred treasure laid by Vyasa and other learned saints, he rendered into English free of speculation taints, and thus he mercifully fulfilled Sri Saraswati's aim. The vast renown of Srila Prabhupada I now proclaim. Achadhyayeta yataparatharkadasya Govindamurti Ujjala Bhaskare Advaita Kadhyota Kulam Jagatyam Tam Kirtayama Prabhupada Devam. The brilliant sun of Lord Govinda's form is shining bright throughout this world because of his sharp logic's awesome might. That sun makes all the Mayavati glowworms hide in shame. The vast renown of Srila Prabhupada I now proclaim. Yashaiva yatmena putra purana raja Ganga malake savakeli hansa Satastrataratma bahita loke Tam kirtayana Prabhupada devam. The prestige Ganges, the pristine Ganges of the Bhagavat flows everywhere because of his great effort. In that stream, the sages' prayers age gems, and Krishna's pastimes are swans sporting unrestrained. The vast renown of Srila Prabhupada I now proclaim. Siradhika Krishna Padaravinda Sahasrahastu Satamindira Su Aropyaya Madhura Pratyayam Tam Kirtaya Prabhupada Devam. Ensuring that his mission's victory would be complete, he planted Sri Sri Radha Krishna's charming lotus feet in temples by the dozens and in countless hearts unchained. The vast renown of Srila Prabhupada I now proclaim. Kausalya dore jasya sastra 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 varsha pratiyanta Ichanda kale mavacham murhatena Tam kirtayama Prabhupada devam. The fierce and formidable army led by wicked Kali is being slain by arrow of showers, volley upon volley. Those arrows are his all auspicious books of spotless fame. The vast renown of Srila Prabhupada I now proclaim. Nana lasad gaura sudha prakasa phalakita stapita eva jena Krishnanuchinta janasanga vrukho tam kirtayamaha Prabhupada devam. The Hare Krishna movement's desert tree, whose fruit are all the splendid, which Lord Gaura's armies will recruit to plant their tree upon the earth. From Krishna's realm he came. The vast renown of Srila Prabhupada I now proclaim. Junitya daji vadidaivaki nija sushikya susahanugam Krupambudi nanda sutra sritama Tam kirtama Prabhupada devam. An ocean of compassion, he has taken shelter of Sri Nanda's son with all his being in everlasting love. He lives on by his words. With him his followers remain. The vast renown of Srila Prabhupada I now proclaim. I pray that those who hear this hymn, which shines the brilliant lights of Srila Prabhupada's renown in Kali Yuga night, will soon attain firm faith in his instructions so that they may one day join him to Golaka and there with Krishna stay. Hare Krishna. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki.
Thank you, Prabhu. Next, Navina Krishna Prabhu will read his offering to Srila Prabhupada.
नमां विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिराघव स्वामी नामिने। नमां विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वते देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणी निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशचारिणी। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनां शलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। I was born in the darkness of ignorance, and my spiritual master opened my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. My dear Srila Prabhupada, please accept my humble obeisances at your lotus feet. All glories to you, your divine grace, on this your 124th sacred appearance day of anniversary. Everyone in this world is trying to be happy and peace by working hard and some pious activities, doing some pious activities, but still they are distressed, depressed and diseased. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, there is a verse says 3.5.2. Vidura asks same question to Maitreya Rishi. Sukhaya karmani karoti loko nathaya sukham vinat upaman va vande tabhuyas tadeva dukkham tadatra yuktam bhagavan vadena. Translation. Vidura said, O great sage, everyone in this world engages in fruitive activities to attain happiness, but one finds neither sanitation nor mitigation of disease. On the contrary, one is aggravated by such activities. Please therefore give us the direction on one how should live real happiness. In the next verse, Vidura, the great sage Vidura says that 3.5.3 Janasya Krishnad Vimukasya Daivat Adharma Shila Sukutatasya Anugrahena Charanantirunam Bhutani Bhavyani Janardanasya. O my Lord, great philanthropists, great souls on this earth travel on behalf of Supreme Personality of Godhead, spreading the message of yours. I was thinking similarly, Srila Prabhupada, you have also traveled all over the world, spreading the message of Krishna and making everyone devotees by your association, lectures, books, kirtan, etc. And above all, you have so much compassion to the fallen souls like me. I am very grateful to you giving such a wonderful family where everyone in this society practice Vedic Dharma and accept Krishna as a God and chant the holy name of the Lord. Thank you so much, Srila Prabhupada, for this wonderful offering. Please accept my humble obeisances. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Prabhu. Second to last offering by Sthira Mataji.
Dear Srila Prabhupada, please accept my humble obeisances, all glories to your divine grace. I heard this phrase and it sounded very catchy to me. Books are the basis, utility is the principle, and preaching is the essence. Surface level felt like I understood it, but deep within my heart, I was feeling it means more than what I understand. Moving on in my Krishna consciousness journey, I was given an instruction to read your books with others who are interested to explore and learn the philosophy. I took up the instruction and moved on because someone read your books with me and I found it beneficial. I understood that reading your books on my own was amazing, and when I read with others, the journey of reading your books became spectacular. I had heard that when devotees get together and discuss topics about Krishna, Krishna is so pleased that he personally is present there. I felt this coming to life while reading your books with others. One of the person I have been reading with for a couple of years now shared with me that after reading together, they came to the understanding that devotional service is the essence. And I was like, that's true. And the way you explain in your books is so unique, giving analogies, having the versatile ability to show the reader, although the same thing, but different angles of it. You describe vividly not only the principles, but how to apply those principles in one's life with examples of those who have applied, to inspire the reader and take them forward on the path of Krishna consciousness. All that one needs to know to make one's life successful is in your books. Thank you for all the sacrifices you made and gave us your books. I am indebted and grateful for this wonderful gift I have received from you, and I pray to you today to please bless me so I can make proper use of this gift. Your aspiring servant, Stiradas.
Thank you, Mataji. Due to time, that's going to be our last offering, and we're going to move on with Pushpanjali. So, devotees, please come forward, and we'll offer Pushpanjali to Srila Prabhupada.
It's a little off, no? Oh, there you go. Everyone's familiar with how we're going to do this. We'll chant the Mangalacharan prayers, and after that, at the end, we'll come back to Srila Prabhupada Pranam Mantra. And when we say Esha Pushpanjali, we'll offer the flowers, flower petals at the lotus feet, and shower Prabhupada with flowers. So you can repeat after me. Om Jnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunlitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam
सहगना रघुनाथान वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान सहगना ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांता स्वामी इति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती इति नामिने श्री भाष्य भानवी देवी दायिताय कृपाब्धे कृष्ण संबंध विज्ञान दायिने प्रभवे नमः माधुर्योज्वल प्रेमाध्य श्री रूपानुगा भक्तिदा श्री गौर करुणा शक्ति विग्रहाय नमोस्तुते नमस्ते गौरवाणी श्रीमूर्ते दीनतारिणे रूपानुगा विरुद्धाप सिद्धांत ध्वांत हारिणे नमो गौर किशोराय साक्षात् वैराग्य मूर्तये विप्रलंब रसाम्बोधे पादाम्बोजाय ते नमः नमो भक्ति विनोदाय सच्चिदानंद नामिने गौर शक्ति स्वरूपाय रूपानुगा वरायते गौराविर्भाव भूमेस्त्वं निर्देष्टा सज्जन प्रियः वैष्णव सार्वभौम श्री जगन्नाथाय ते नमः वाञ्छकल्पा तरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिंधु भ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो महावदान्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामने गौरत्वसे नमः पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूप स्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्त शक्तिकं हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते जयतं सुरतौ पंगुर मम मंद मतेर्गति मत्सर्वस्य तदाम्बोजौ राधा मदन मोहनो दिव्याद्वृन्दारण्या कल्पद्रुमादः श्रीमद् रत्नागरा सिंहासनस्थो श्रीमद् राधा श्रील गोविंद देवो प्रेष्टालिभिः सेव्यमानो स्मरामि श्रीमन् रासरसारम्भी वंशीवट ततस्थितः काशन्वेणु स्वनैर्गोपी गोपीनाथ श्रीस्तुनः तप्तकाञ्चन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानु सुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्या नंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन् इति नामिने एष पुष्पांजलि।
Divine Grace HH Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी इति नामिने एष पुष्पांजलि। Divine Grace HH Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी इति नामिने एष पुष्पांजलि। His Divine Grace HH Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki
Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Samsaradava Nalalidha Loka Pranaja Karunya Ganad Ganadvan Samsadadava Nalalidha Loka Tranaja Karunya Ganad Ganadvan Tranaja Karunya Pratasya Kalyana Gunarnavasya Bande Guru Sri Charanarabindam Mahaprabhu Kirtana Nitya Gita Baditra Madhyan Manasurasena Manasarasen Romancha Kampa Srutaranga Bhajo Vande Guru Sri Charanarabindam Vande Guru Sri Charan Sri Vigrahara Dananityananam Shingarathan Mandira Marjanado Shingaratan Juktasya Bhattam Chadiyunjatopi Vande Guru Sri Charanarabindam Vande Guru Sri Chaturveda Sri Bhagavat Prashadam Swadana Triptam Haribhakta Sangam Swadana Triptam Kritaiva Triptim Bhajato Shadhaiva Vande Guru Sri Charanarabindam Sri Radhikama Davajora Para Madhurya Leela Guna Rupananam Davajora Para Madhurya Leela Pratishana Swadhana Lolupasya Vande Guru Sri Charanarabindam O Vande Guru Sri Charanarabindam Vande Guru Sri Charanarabindam. One more. Vande Guru Sri Charanarabindam Vande Guru Sri Charanarabindam Vande Guru Sri Charanarabindam Nikunja Juno Ratikali Sidve Jajalibir Juktirapekshaniya Jajalibir Tatratidasya Tibalabhasya Vande Guru Sri Charanarabindam Vande Guru Sri Charanarabindam Jasya prasadam bhagavat prasadam Jasya prasadam nagati kutopi Sat Shakshadaridhena chamaskachastrer Uktastathasbhavyata uvasadbhi Kintu Prabhu Priya eva tasya Vande Guru Sri Charanarabindam Vande Guru Jasya prasadam bhagavat prasadam Jasya prasadam nagati kutopi Dajan stubantasya jasyasti sandhyan Vande Guru Sri Charanarabindam Dajan stubantasya jasyasti sandhyan Vande Guru Sri Charanarabindam Vande Guru Vande Guru Sri Charanarabindam Bande Guru Sri Charanarabindam. O Samsaradavana Lalita Loka Tranajatarunya Ganaganadvan. Pratasya Kalyana Gunarnavasya Bande Guru Sri Charanarabindam. Srila Prabhupada ki Pratasya Kalyana Gunarnavasya Bande Guru Sri Charanarabindam. Namo Vishnu Padaja Krishna Presthaja Bhotale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Prabhupada. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirveshesha Sunyabhadi Pashatya Doshatarine. Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada's Vyasapuja Maha Mahotsava ki. His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. Srila Prabhupada ki. Utai Gaura Brahmanandi Hari Hari Bol. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivashadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. I do one mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Jai Om Vishnupad Param.